Hello, movie lovers. Yes, it's Bob. Talking to you again on this Friday about movies that you should watch this week. TCM movies and some other movies. So, how's everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Everybody's fine and dandy and all that stuff. Yes. So, let's talk about the movies. See, I got my trusty little book here. I'm writing things down. Oh, okay, let's talk about this. Alright, here we go. You ready? Alright. This shouldn't be too long. Anyway, first movie I watched, might not be the first, but I watched it. It Came from Outer Space. The Ray Bradbury story. 1953. This is TCM. A meteor crashes into the desert. Stars Richard Carlson and Barbara Rush. They take on the appearance of people in town. And the reason they do that is because they want to fix their spaceship. You know. So they become people. They take their likeness from people and they hide people in a cave and they're fixing their spaceship. And Richard Carlson's and Barbara Rush's characters come upon them on the highway, and they look a little different than the regular people. They act funny. How you doing today, Jim? I'm fine. How's the phones? The phones working? Their phones are working, they're fine. Guy's a little odd. Anyway, it's not a bad movie. It's a sci-fi movie, y'all know that. Most of you know It Came from Outer Space. I give it a 6. A 6 out of 10. It's a movie, it's fun. Has good special effects. So sci-fi movies from the 50s. Y'all know this one. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, the Mad Miss Manton? Manton starring Barbara Stanwyck. It's from 1938. Another TCM movie that was on TCM. So, Barbara Streisand's character, she's a rich person. She's a rich girl, right? She has a whole bunch of friends, girls, friends. Right, they're all a bunch of characters, they are, right? So anyway, Barbara Streisand's out at 3 o'clock in the morning walking her 4 little dogs, right, Shih Tzus or whatever they are. And she's walking the street and some guy runs out of this building, runs down the steps and runs down the street and buggers up, jumps in her car and takes off. So Barbara Streisand goes into this building, house, whatever you want to call it. She stumbles inside, looks around, there's a dead guy laying on the floor. She screams, and then she calls the cops. Get over here right away, there's a dead guy. Cops show up, go into the building, she goes in, and there's no dead guy. He's not there. So the cops think, come on lady, quit fooling around, messing around with the cops. And she's telling them, no, he was really there. Anyway, next day in the newspaper, she's in the newspaper as a flight, like one of them flighty broads. And it's funny. And Henry Fonda's the reporter, right? The guy that reports the news, the reporter. He wrote a story about her. She's mad, and all her friends are mad. So she goes to his office, slaps him across the face and stuff like that. And then they start at each other. Anyway, one thing leads to another. All of her friends, all the girls are trying to find out who killed this person, right? So there's a murder committed, and they're all getting together to try to find out, clues and stuff like that. So it's funny. It's a funny movie. It's I give it a 6. It's all right. It's not great, right? Most of these movies are 6. You can watch them; they're fine. I watched this one last year. I'm pretty sure last year I had it on this channel that I watched. So yeah, I give it a 6. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Yeah, and Hayden McDonald's in it too as her housekeeper. That she's, and a little while later after this movie, she was in Gone with the Wind. So, yeah. So that's fun. That's a good movie. The Mad Miss Manton, 1938. 6. All right, what else did I watch? I watched a movie called Border Incident, 1949, TCM. Immigration officers, when they're on the border and stuff, and they try to stop Mexicans, people from coming over the border, stuff like that, right? Anyway, they get together, and there's two, what is it, agents. One's Ricardo Montalban, and George Murphy. George Murphy's in a lot of movies, a lot of musicals he was in, dancing around, singing and stuff. But they investigate these people or persons to get the immigrants, right, and put them in, buses or try to get them across the border. And if they come across people that find out that they're immigrants and they can't get across the border, these bad guys end up killing them. Yeah, no witnesses. Just if they get caught, they kill them. Either, there's ways to kill. I'm not going to tell you how they do it. Spoil if you ever want to watch the movie. Anyway, and there's this movie's very violent for 1949. There's a scene in it with George Murphy in the fields, right, and he's laying in the dirt and stuff, and there's tractors coming toward him. I think it was a tractor. He's like, that didn't look very good. It was violent, for a movie when it shows you stuff. It doesn't show you what happened, of course, that way, but it's like nasty. Anyway, that's 7. Give it a 7. Get an itchy head. 7. That's a 7. Border incident, 1949. TCM 7. All right. Number 6. Murder Most Fowl, 1963, TCM. Margaret Rutherford, she's plays Miss Marble, right? See, an English lady, tea time. She joins up with a theater group and tries to find out who murdered one of the actresses, actually, right? So she joins up with him, and it's a story about what happens when she's there and stuff. She tries to find out who killed the actors. So it's funny. It's another 6. I think she made 4 movies. Margaret Rutherford, was it 4 movies as Miss Marble? But anyway, yeah, fun. I think I've seen the other ones too. But it's a fun watch. It's okay, nothing wrong with it. It gets a 6. So that's Agatha Christie. So that's all right too. So okay. So where was I? Oh yeah, let's put this down here. Out of the way, I guess. And where's the other movies I watched? Oh yeah, okay, let's talk about the other ones. Elizabeth. 1998. Kate Blanchett and Geoffrey Rush. Yeah, about Elizabeth. From her mad sister. So her sister was a little mad. She had pains on her stomach and she died. I think there was more to it than that, but anyway, she died. And then Elizabeth comes into being as the queen. So it's a very good story. It's about Catholics, in a roundabout way, it's about Catholics and Protestants. So it's about that. And her rise to her queen and being the Virgin Queen that she was back in the day. Queen Elizabeth. So yeah, there's a lot of good people in this movie, and a lot of stories, and how true this was, and what really happened. Who knows? You want to be a fly, be on the wall, look around, stuff like that. Go ahead, but Elizabeth, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Yes, some good costumes, dressing up and dresses and the hoop dresses and. At the court and soldiers and some of the, get your head chopped off, that kind of movie, put your head there. Stay still, we're going to chop your head off. Elizabeth, it's an 8. 1998, Elizabeth. 8 out of 10. Don't forget, these are all Reader's Digest versions of what I do. Don't try to get them in too long. Just what I watched. Oh yeah, here's one here. Poseidon, 2006. Kurt Russell and Emmy Rossum. I guess that's how you pronounce her name. Oh, so this one is a remake of the Poseidon Adventure. Shelley Winters, the older one. This is not a bad remake, you know. The big wave comes over and tips the boat over, right? And then people try to get out. And there's about 7 or 8 of them, right, that try to make their way up to the bottom of the boat because the boat tipped over. Anyway, I liked it. I thought the characters were well driven. Kurt Russell always plays good. Most 90% of the time in movies that Kurt Russell's in, it's pretty good. He plays his part very, very well. So the Poseidon, yeah, they're trying to get out, and the waves come. The boat's filling up with water, right? There's no sharks in it. Nobody's getting eaten or anything like that. Anyway, the boat starts filling up with water as they're going up to get to the bottom, right? To get out, well, the water starts filling up too. So as they're going up, the water's filling in also. And the special effects are really good. When the water rushes in and breaks the windows, and it all comes in and crashes against people and picks them up and throws them all around. Oh yeah, this is good. I give it an 8 out of 10. I like it. All right, what other one did I watch? I watched this one. See, they're in bags now, whereas the plastic cases, I don't have them. I'll show you some movies. Another video, how I put the movies in my little brown baskets. But anyway, that's another video. Body of Lies, DiCaprio and Russell Crowe. Now this takes place mostly over in Iraq and stuff like that, right? And they're both, I guess they're both working for the government, the Americans, right? And DiCaprio's over there, and Russell Crowe's at home, but he's talking to him basically on earphones and stuff like that. So they're trying to find out who's the guy that's letting bombs go off in England, like in little side cafes and things like that. They blow up like this, the bad guys. And they're trying to find out who the hell is this guy. Then they find out who he is, and then they decide to get him. How they're going to get him, right? To get him, to arrest him or put him away or whatever you want to call it, right? They decide, right, to make another outfit, right, that are killing people. So this guy wants to know who the other outfit is, right? So I'm not going to tell you how it ends, of course. But this is a very good movie also. Body of Lies, 2008. It's a big 8 out of 10. Yeah, DiCaprio. He's been in a lot of movies. And Russell Crowe. Crowe? Is that how you say his name? Crowe? Russell Crowe. Body of Lies, 8 out of 10. And the last, but not least, I'll tell you about this movie too. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Special guest star, Bob Dylan. How Bob Dylan got in and knew Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett, I'll never know. But anyway, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, yes. Story about Billy the Kid. We all know, most of us know Billy the Kid, right? Billy the Kid is like, what, 19, 20 years old? Something like that, right? 21, whatever, I forget how old he was when he actually got shot by Pat Garrett. Some people said he never got shot by Pat Garrett. Some people did say. Some people say the guy that they buried out back and put Billy the Kid's name on it and all that, he's not in there. Some people said that Billy the Kid lived for a long time. He died when he was like 80-something years old. But that's a story, right? Who knows? It's true. I don't know. But Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, very good Western. This came out in, what is it, what was this? 78, 73, I think 73, wasn't it? 1973. So, James Goldberg plays Pat Garrett. Chris Christopherson plays Billy the Kid. And you get some Bob Dylan tunes, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. And the thing about this movie is it's a pretty good movie, like Vice, and some of the parts and scenes in here are basically culled from Billy the Kid's story, where he was in jail and he escaped, right? And he shot the deputy full of dimes, right, with the shotgun. Gave it to him good. Anyway, and there was a gun in the shitter when he went downstairs to go to the bathroom. He came up with a handgun, right? And on his way upstairs, he shot the other deputy. And then he shot the guy with the shotgun. He shot the other deputy that came running. But anyway, the thing is, it's a very good movie. There's only one thing wrong with it. If you want to pick, I think. Do you think that, I think, or you think, or we all think, I think that Chris Christopherson was kind of old to be playing Billy the Kid. Because even though it's a good movie, if you look at Chris Christopherson, Billy the Kid, he looks too old to be Billy the Kid. He looks like he's 30 years old. He doesn't look like he's 20 years old and tough little shit, right? Kills everybody. No, so I think, very good movie. I give this one an 8, movie-wise, story-wise. It's pretty good. And Pat Garrett, right? His story, he lives another, 20, 30 years after Billy. He shot Billy. But anyway, Pat Garrett, that's another story. So Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid kind of go hand in hand. So this one gets a big 8 out of a 10. If you haven't seen Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid from 1973, pretty sure it's 73, seek it out and watch it. It's a pretty good story, other than Chris Christopherson being too old to play Billy the Kid. Now that's just me. I don't know if anybody wants to agree with me or not, but there you go. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Alright people, that's the movies I watched this week. I'll talk to you later. Have a good week. Enjoy the summer. Keep watching those movies. Peace, love, and rock and roll.